Welcome to the Aligned Feminine.
Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome back to the Aligned Feminine, hanging out with your two favorite spiritual besties,
It's your girls, Taylor,
and Sammy.
and we are here to help you have a deeper relationship with yourself, your health, and your spirituality to transform and expand your life.
Woohoo! Today we have a very special episode for y'all, and we have the amazing Marley Rose Harris joining us for an interview. This queen is a self-made millionaire. She is the founder of the Clear the Fear method. She has been certifying others to do it, and I will get the honor of getting my certification this year with her. She has worked with and changed the lives of women all over the world, and we are so excited and so honored to have her here and to teach us all of her tips and tricks because this episode is one you are going to want to re-listen to. It was fucking amazing. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Aligned Feminine. We are so excited. We have the beautiful Marley Rose Harris with us today. She has been someone I've been following for literally years now. I fell in love with her through one of my friends, Tara, who was in one of your programs, Freedom Club. So I listened to your podcast religiously, and I also am really good friends with Michaela. So she's told me all about you and all about your guys' time in Bali. So I'm so excited for you to be here on the podcast, and we really just want to get into it. So, girl, come on, tell us about you, introduce yourself, like tell us all the things.
Oh my God, thank you so much for such a sweet intro. So, I am a money manifestation mentor. I help entrepreneurs make lots of money through healing their subconscious mind and reprogramming their mindset to live a life of time, location, financial freedom. That's what I'm super passionate about. And I've changed my life doing that this way. And it feels like this life hack that no one knows about when it comes to growing businesses. It's very much like, okay, this is the sales strategy, this is the marketing strategy, this is how you have to grow a business, how this is how you're supposed to make lots of money. And there's so many people. I speak to all of my clients who are like, I'm doing all of the things. Why is my bank account staying the same or not increasing? I'm like, it's because you're not addressing 95% of what makes up your financial reality, which is your beliefs around money. So I help clients become rich, illogically wealthy through healing those limiting beliefs around money.
I absolutely love that. And I know that you started your journey doing it yourself because I remember seeing your post when you were like, I just realized like I'm a self-made millionaire. And I remember your shock, like your genuine excitement. So tell us a little bit about that and your journey to becoming a millionaire because you could see it all over your face. Like you genuinely meant and were like, oh
Okay, so that I have to bring you back for that. So I'm from a really small town in Ontario, Canada. I Googled the population yesterday. It's 300 people.
my God.
Okay. I'm from a stop sign. It's 300 people. And growing up, I thought making $100,000 a year would be like, I'm rich. Like, I have made it. Only doctors, lawyers, CEOs make that type of money. And because I grew up in a family and in a space where money was always talked about very much with fear, there was always never enough. I, as a child, always wanted to do sports. I wanted to, go on vacations, like do what all my friends were doing, but we couldn't do that because we didn't have money. And it was what every single fight was about. It was what every like anger and anxiety that just like seethed in our entire house all the time was about not having money. And so I was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. From a very small age, I don't even know when it was, but I was like, I vowed to myself that I will never have this in my life again. And once I turn eight or like whatever I have, like whatever I become an adult, like I'm gonna figure this shit out so that I can have whatever I want and do whatever I want. Because I felt so trapped. I felt so stuck. I was in a very like my room was literally the size of like the closet that I have in my hotel room right now. I didn't even have a door. I didn't even have a window. Like it was just growing up and being in that energy, I just knew this is exactly what I don't want. So when I, graduated from university and started dilly-dallying in this entrepreneur space, firstly, I did not want to be an entrepreneur. I made a promise to myself, I will never be an entrepreneur, because both of my parents were entrepreneurs, and I saw that if you're an entrepreneur, you don't make any money. Okay. So that's what was my mindset. But once I started getting into the world of personal development, and we can talk about that in a moment of how that happened, but I realized, oh shit, like if I want to live this life of time, location, financial freedom, that means starting my own business. And so I started my own business. And at the same time, I went through a very traumatic experience. My dad committed suicide. And that was, well, we just got there. That was the beginning of my, I would say, spiritual awakening, my journey to finding myself, my journey to healing. It was when my healing journey started, really. This was 6 years ago. And it was so interesting. Everything that I was learning about healing from trauma, healing my mind, healing anxiety, healing depression, and in the beginning, really healing my body, because I had created this binge eating disorder to like cope with the loss of my dad. And I gained like all this weight and all this inflammation. I was so uncomfortable in my body. And so that's how it started. And honestly, just having the intention that I don't want to let this massive trauma like break me. Again, I'm from such a small town. Someone doing that was like in the movies. Like that didn't even exist in my reality. I didn't even think that was a possibility I didn't even think people did that in real life, honestly. And so when that happened, it was started my healing journey. And I realized, okay, I was also starting my business at the same time. And I was like, well, all this stuff is working when it comes to healing my body and healing my mind. What if I just applied that to money? And it was this like foreign concept like 6 years ago. But what happened is I started making more in my business per month than that corporate job, because before I started my own business, I got my first corporate job offer and I declined it because I was like, hell no, I'm a plant. I want to live in the sunshine. I want to live by the ocean. Like, and I was living in Canada in like this cold ass town. I was like, hell no, get me out of here. And I knew my only ticket out of there was starting my own online business. So that's why I did that. And then it was really just out of the intention of like, get me out of the cold. But then it just spiraled into so much more. Obviously, that's why we're here today. And healing my money mindset came down. And when I started studying it, I just had this obsession. I've always had this obsession with money. And I started reading all the books, learning as much as I could. And everyone just came down to subconscious reprogramming. Every book, it's actually like a joke. Like every time I read a personal development joke, it's like subconscious reprogramming, subconscious. But then I also feel like no one is really talking about subconscious reprogramming at the same time. Like if I bring up subconscious reprogramming, people are like, wait, what are you talking about? And I'm like, sorry, what? This is how you get this is how you do life, is subconscious reprogramming. And to answer your question, I grew up in a place where, there was never enough. I remember even actually when I was in Bali with Michaela, I had this realization of like, oh my gosh, I'm going to be a millionaire one day, because every amount of money that I've desired to manifest, I've manifested. And I started making, when I started making $10,000 a month in business, I thought I had like broken my brain. Like there's no way that I was making $10,000 a month in business. I'm like, I used to make that in a year. My parents don't even make that. Like, I don't even know my parents, like, what I was like, this is insane. So I'm like, if I can do that, I can become a millionaire. And I was like, whoa, but I couldn't even say the word. I couldn't say the word millionaire. It made me feel sick. I was like, I can't. Anyways, so, it was my desire. I just was like, one day I will be a millionaire. One day I will be a millionaire. Before the age of 30, I will be a millionaire. At the age of 30, I'm going to be a millionaire. Blah, blah, blah. And I just set my intention. I put on every single vision board and I just manifested it and I focused on it and I visualized and I felt and I spoke into existence every single day. And then I was at home and I was having a really bad week. It was one of those initiation weeks where like everything goes wrong. I call them initiation weeks. It's where like everything goes wrong and you're being triggered in every area of your life. And in hindsight, you realize you're just being initiated to a next level of your life. But in the moment, you're like, I'm in the tumble dryer and I don't see the day of light. And it was like one of those weeks. And previously, like months ago, I'd asked my villa owner to get my villa reevaluated because I own a villa in Bali. Because I track my net worth, I track it every day because I'm focusing on becoming a millionaire. So millionaires track their net worth. And so every month I recalibrate, da 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 da. And I was on a walk and I was like, really, like, what is going on? Like, it was almost like comical. Like, I was by someone that everyone on this call knows and everyone listening knows, like, very big coach in the industry was threatening to sue me. It was crazy shit. Okay. And I was like, and it wasn't for anything that I did bad. It was like a very big projection. It was a miscommunication. It was like the weirdest thing ever. And anyways, nothing ever happened, obviously, because nothing was wrong. And anyways, I get home, message from my email from my villa owner, and he was like, Marley, we got your villa valued. This is the cost. And I was like, whoa, that's cool. That went up. Put it in, boop, 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 recalculate it. It was like a million to the dollar. And I was like, oh my God, I just became a millionaire. I did it. Like little me from a little small town that like grew up not even knowing what money was. I just knew that I wanted it, made herself a millionaire. So if I can do that, anyone listening can do it. It's just having the right tools. I'm not special. I was like destined for this. Everyone, there's people like it is possible for anyone listening. It's just having the right mindset that is in alignment with what you desire. It's like a code. Like to become a millionaire is like baking a cake. You need this certain ingredients. And once you have that belief system, naturally without effort, you get an email and you're just like a million. It's not like I'm saying it's like without effort, but when you rewire your beliefs and reprogram your mindset, anything is possible.
Mm. Oh my God. Oh my God. If that doesn't make you want to just run out of your house, run down the street, I don't know, that gave me so much energy. Girl, first of all, like, congratulations. And you really tapped into something that people need to hear about. And I love that you use your space and you use your voice and all these platforms and you have your own app, which we are going to ask you a little bit about. But congratulations on all that. And thank you for what you're doing for literally the collective. Like this is going to help so many people also, like all of your work, your podcasts. There is one episode that I just fell in love with about setting boundaries that you have. It was one of your recent ones. And as a people pleaser, I'm a recovering people pleaser. Not anymore. They've just been speaking to my heart, and especially this one. So a big thank you for all, sometimes all that you go through. It's for like such a bigger purpose within yourself, but also for, your community and your people and everyone around you. So you could definitely feel it when you're talking also. Um, so yeah, tell us a little bit about your app because Sammy was telling me about it and girl, she sold it to me like in 4 seconds. I was like, okay, so I'm
Sammy should tell us about my app.
Oh my God, I totally will. So I found your app when you were doing one of your free money like challenges that you did, and I
Mhm.
literally hit a record-breaking month in my business the same month that I moved cross country after a really bad, well, it wasn't a bad breakup, but it was like we were together for like 3-ish years. So it was super emotional for me. Like it was so hard. It was like, grief, like, how it is. So
Mhm.
felt like I was just in such a low state of my life and I didn't know where I wanted to go. So I was like, okay, like I just need some sort of direction. So I had gone on multiple retreats with Michaela at this point, and I had met two of my best friends, one of which is Tara. So Tara was like, I feel like you really need to listen to Marley. Like she's just gonna help you so much. Like she's helped me so much. So at the time I was doing 75 hard and I was like, okay, I just need something to like get me just grounded, I think is the basic word. So I started listening to your podcast, and your podcast sold me on your app because you would always talk about how you use the app to really reprogram your beliefs. Like when you were talking about how there are recalibrations, totally agree with that because I can feel where like you enter the meditation or you enter even your affirmations. I listen to your affirmations daily. It's a part of my morning routine, you know? So every time when I started it, I would come out a completely different energy, a completely different frequency, especially as a business owner. I feel like there's so many things that like you just don't always sign up for. Like for with what you were saying of like somebody's threatening to sue, like I'm sure that was never anything you thought you would have to overcome, right? And it's kind of like it brings up triggers in you. So I was noticing that me having this ending with someone I didn't think that would be the case with, it brought up a lot of triggers, which was just like feeding into, I also was binge eating at the time. It was like, it was feeding into all the areas of my life. And I was like, no, I cannot let this ruin what I have built. Like I've worked so hard the past 2 years. I've done so much. So your app was like literally a savior for me. And that's why it's so easy for me to like talk about with Taylor because I use it every day. Like I literally have like a huge streak with it. Like literally it popped up right now and it's like a loving reminder to do your transformation. I'm like, oh, I've already listened today, but I'll listen to it as like breaks throughout the day. So I think how I really like it is in the morning, I'll do your affirmations. In the middle of the day, I love your frequencies. Oh my gosh, I'm a fitness coach. So even when I'm doing their check-ins, I'll put in like the higher self frequency or the positivity one, or I love the clarity one too. When I'm like brainstorming new programs, I'll like listen to those. And then at night, I'll write down like what are some triggers that have come up? What do I need to release? And I use your advice from the podcast to use those recalibrations to just whatever that limiting belief is, just wipe it away. So that's personally how I like it. But if you want to talk to us a little bit more about it, because I know you were like wanting to go all in, you're making a switch up in your business. I heard you're also like redoing a lot of the tracks. So I'm so excited. I'm a fangirl for the Higher Self app.
Yeah, me. I'm like going to clip that and like put that everywhere.
Please do.
I love you so much. Thank you so much for saying that. That's so sweet of you. Okay, wait. Can I tell you like how I thought of the idea? Because it's so okay. So I like I said, on my healing journey, I everything just came back to subconscious reprogramming. Even if it wasn't about money, healing trauma, healing the relationship with my body, attracting my dream soulmate partner, it was all came back to subconscious reprogramming. And I'm a shortcut kind of girl. Okay, I want the result yesterday. I'm like, give it, like, I just want this thing now. If I want something, I'm like, what's the fastest, quickest, most efficient way to do something? It's very Capricorn of me. And everything just came back to subconscious reprogramming. So I'm like, okay, great. How do I do that? Like how do I change my limiting beliefs? And everything I would read would teach me how important it was to change my limiting beliefs. To this day, still, I swear to you. This is why it's so important to change your limiting beliefs. Your limiting beliefs create your reality. Every book I still read now to this day is tells me that, but no one's teaching me or telling me how to change my beliefs. Like I swear to you, I'm like every book I read, no, and it would piss me off. I'm like, okay, I get it, but how? How am I changing my limiting beliefs? How do I know what's in there? Like how? And I said to myself, I'm gonna figure this out. I'm gonna figure this out, and I am going to find a way. And it was, well, there's a few things involved as well. Like when my father passed away, I also made a vow to myself that I will find a way that there must be a way that people can use and a healing modality that people can easily access. Because in the beginning of my healing journey, I couldn't afford therapy. I couldn't afford like $100 a session. I couldn't afford, it wasn't even it was like, haha, you'll figure it out. You don't need therapy. Whereas like I actually really needed therapy. And there has to be something that's affordable and accessible that works. And I made a vow to myself that no one I know or no one in this world will ever think that that's the only option. There has to be a better way. And so it was kind of two things going on at once. Like it was my healing journey, and then I was also really motivated to find a solution for others who were suffering as well as myself. And so I started, digging and going into books and trying to figure things out. I was getting certified in different programs and different modalities. And it was one of my coaches that I worked with, and she recommended a hypnosis app. Girls, this was the ugliest thing I've ever seen. Like it was called chakra meditation balancing. Okay, so I was like, whoever's doing the branding here like really missed the mark because this is like a hypnosis app. And then you go in, it's so clunky. The business model was so bad. And my coach, like, I don't know if you know who Natalia Benson is, but she's a massive coach. She's huge. And I'm like, she's recommending this like piece of shit. So no offense to her, but like it was like this clunky ass app. Like, what? And I was like, well, and then I was like, wait, hypnosis app, that's smart. But so there must be something better because like meditation apps are everywhere. So then I started searching like subconscious reprogramming app and then nothing. Hypnosis app, nothing cute, nothing that like the girlies would want. We like, I love branding. I love, like, for example, Cha Cha Matcha. Love it. Pink. Like, tropical vibe. I'm obsessed. I go every day because it fits my vibe. I'm not going to go to another coffee shop because I don't want to hold it. I want to hold this. It makes me happy. I love a brand. I love using branding that makes me really happy. And I know there's a lot of meditation apps that have that it vibe, but there was nothing for hypnosis. It was all like doctor vibes, like very clinical. So I was like, that's weird. Didn't think anything of it. One morning I wake up and I love every night before I go to bed, I'll ask my subconscious mind a question. So this is a really hot take, but if you're trying to figure out something or you want answers like, how am I going to meet my soulmate? How am I going to make my next $100 million? I don't know, whatever you want to know, just ask yourself before you go to bed, and either you'll wake up with the answer, you'll dream about the answer, or it'll come to you at some point in the day. So I just kept asking myself, like, how am I going to scale my business? How am I going to do? And this is very, I don't know, this is very Bali of me, but I was in a Kundalini yoga class and I was doing a abundant Kriya and it was so magical. I was like, I don't know where I was channeling. And I just had this like ping that was like, you are going to have like you are going to be like the female Jeff Bezos. Like you're going to have a business it's that big. And I was like, well, that's interesting because like my business right now isn't really set up for that type of energy. Like, okay, there's another business circulating, blah, blah, blah. Anyways, wake up with the morning and it was like, wake up one morning, it was like, you're gonna create the hypnosis app. And I was like, huh, I could do that. Like I could do that. That sounds really fun. And then I made a lot of mistakes. Okay. So firstly, I started telling people that had never done a hypnosis app, and I started to get people involved who it wasn't their passion, and I started outsourcing my inner knowing. And anyways, it delayed the process a bit, but it doesn't matter because whatever's meant for you will always come back for you. So it was like kind of like went a little bit this way. I started doing it with my partner at the time, like my ex-boyfriend and one of my clients. And then no one was taking accountability for it. So it kept like nothing was working. So at the beginning of 2023, I was like, guys, love you, but I'm doing this on my own. And so it was really the beginning of 2023 that I started developing the app. I did design the whole thing. Like I have drawings on my like pages of like, this is what it's going to look like. I designed the entire thing from scratch. Like, this is what's missing. This is what it needs. This is exactly what it looks like. I literally sat in a cafe once and just mocked up the entire thing within a day. Like it just like came out of me. And then for a year, we developed it. So went back and forth. Every button, like every single thing in that app, I have been like, it needs to look like this. And I designed every single aspect. So it took about a year. And then at the beginning of 2024, on the 5-year anniversary of my father's death, we launched the app. And it was so full circle because it was meant to launch the week before. And then the day of the launch, the whole thing crashed. And I was like, this has never happened. What is going on? I was like, oh, it's because I'm supposed to launch next week. That's my dad's anniversary. Duh. Sorry, dad. I like should have thought of that. Then I moved it by a week, launched it. So it's been out for a year now. And it is the most accessible, affordable, efficient way to heal your mind. And I stand by that. So just like Sammy said, it's an everyday kind of girl. Like you start your morning with it, you ground. I love grounding in the afternoon because by the afternoon I'm like here, I'm like head is in the sky. So I use the grounding meditation to ground, and then before I go to bed, your subconscious mind is most primed in the evening and in the morning. So you want to take advantage of that. So in the evening, I'm going to sleep with frequent with affirmations about money, manifestation. And like you literally don't even have to do anything because I know people are so busy. So even if you don't have time to do a meditation in the day, you do have time to listen to something the moment you wake up and the moment you go to bed because it's not taking away time. You're already going to do it anyways. And even just doing that alone, you will start to reprogram your mind and you will start to change your beliefs and you will start to change your life. So that's a little bit about the app. That's why I created it. And Sammy, you're gonna like freak out. So over the last month, we have gone in and we have re-recorded every track and just made it like this much better. They are insane. Like I'm just so excited because every track has like infused with true magic that even when I get out of the tracks, I'm like, wait, what just happened? I'm like, what just happened? This is so cool. So we have recalibrations. I don't want to call them meditations, but for example, if you're feeling anxious, it brings you from anxious to peace. If you're feeling fear about money, it brings you into feeling abundant with money. If you're feeling anxiety and stress, you're feeling calm. Like we're recalibrating you from like a lower frequency to a higher frequency. If you're feeling ungrounded, it makes you feel grounded. If you're feeling dysregulated in your nervous system, you because that is really important at the end of the day because you manifest from your vibration. So I want to recalibrate you to a higher vibration always. That's why it's called the higher self app. Um, but if you have limiting beliefs that you are noticing, for example, fear with money, fear with rejection, fear of loss, fear of abandonment, fear of betrayal. If you have these fears coming up, then you can clear those in the limiting using clear the fear method and then using the affirmations just to start to reprogram in the background at all times.
Yeah, no, it's like literally life-changing. Like the fact that you're redoing everything, I'm already so shocked because I'm like, oh my gosh, even with your second wave, I remember when you added, because like I have the app up right now, but when you added like all the crazy, like you added like 20 new Clear the Fear to this, genre in here. And I loved it because I am an entrepreneur. So all of the ones that you had put specifically for entrepreneurs, I was like, this is amazing. And you could tell that you designed it because of how, for example, the clear of loss has like a rainbow, and I know that's like a major sign.
I love that you know that. That is so sweet.
I know. I told her, I was like, I'm so nervous. I've listened to you for so long, and like I've done like your programs and stuff. So I'm like, oh my God, it's so real.
Love it. I love it. Thank you for mirroring all that back about the app, by the way, because like as a business owner, like you're working with it all day long. And then to hear your feedback literally makes me so happy. So thank you so much for sharing that.
Of course, girl. If you want a formal testimonial, I got you.
Thank you.
I know Sammy does like the best of the best. So anything she recommends, I'm always like, okay, so where do I get this? And I'm already sold. Like I'm opening up a massage studio. Like my practice is starting in a month and I'm super excited. I'm kind of like integrating all different modalities and squishing them together in certain services. And one is going to be a meditation massage. And I've been looking for a really good like app or program or something with just like genuinely good meditations on it or recalibrations. And I just feel like the universe is kind of plopping this in my lap right now and being like, sis, um, maybe you need to get this. So I'm really excited. I feel like I could totally, like, my clients would absolutely love it. I could utilize this and people would, like, it could change literal lives. Like, it's not even just, like you said, it's not even considered just a meditation at all. Like, you are reprogramming and your frequency. And people are, I feel like it's becoming a little more mainstream now. People are realizing, how powerful we are as humans and we can manipulate energy and our frequency really can dictate what flows in our lives and what flows out and what we choose to give power to. Sometimes, our circumstances in life and things that we are thrown, it's about what we do with it. And people will deep dive into healing and will deep dive into like, okay, but like this isn't my story. This is just something that happened to me, but there's so much that I can do with it and utilize with it and actually like change the world and change my world with. So your story is so touching to me and so many people listening. And I'm just so happy that you were open and you could share this with our listeners too, because this really is what we're about also, just creating like safe space, but also teaching people like you can change your entire life. Like you can. It's not impossible. And it's finding these gems, these little, recalibrations, these little like podcast episodes, anything that you can just easily throw on that just changes your path, changes the trajectory of your thoughts. And then in turn, your whole routine, your whole life. So I'm just so amazed by all this and I'm so on board and love all of this. So if Sammy is fangirling, girl, so am I over here. Okay.
You're your best friend, Taylor.
I'm just
Oh,
saying, like, Sammy always knows the best stuff when it comes to like spirituality and reprogramming and everything like that. So anything she says, I dive full into. But it's literally just so refreshing hearing, your muse behind it and everything that goes into, why you made it. And it's just amazing. And I just love the girlies that are on top of their spirituality, like on top of just reprogramming their world. Why not?
thank you. By the way, like, thank you so much for all of that. That is so kind of you. And when you said massage meditation, I got full body chills. I was like, that is genius.
Oh, thank you. It was one of the downloads. The universe just plopped that one in my lap, and I was like, girl, kill two birds with one stone in a way. And like, who wouldn't want that?
Wait, that is so genius. Why has no one else thought of that? That is like, that's all I want. Duh.
And you can like ask their intention, like when they walk in, be like, what's your intention? And then with all the
Yes.
meditations, it's like you can put whatever specifically they're looking for on. And then as you like rub through the muscle tissue, it's like you're hitting them subconsciously, but you're also hitting their body as well in the physical aspect of it, which is so cool.
Well, you know
Period.
what's crazy is your subconscious is your body. So
Yeah.
it's gonna be like, wait, Tay,
Yeah.
we should talk off air because maybe I could create you like a custom
Oh,
like 60-minute meditation or something, and we can just put it in the app and it can be like what like you can request something like this would be my dream meditation and I'll create it for you. Can I just put it in the app?
Oh my
girl. Oh my God. Say so much less. I am a million times down for that. And I just know my clients are going to love the stuff you already have. So I will
Because
tell
it's
you
60
all.
minutes, right? It will be a 60-minute. Okay, because the meditations, the recalibrations are more like 10 to 15. So
Mhm.
we can do something that would be longer because clients do like obviously longer meditations. I'm just such a squirrel brain. I like a shorter meditation, but I want to make longer ones so we can talk off air and be like, this is exactly, oh my God, it could be like manifest your highest potential, like manifest your dream life massage. What? That would be the best. I'm flying wherever you are and getting it.
You should come for the grand opening.
I'm coming to the grand opening. I'll see the
Period.
silver ribbon.
Oh my God.
Just
That is so
like,
hype. That is literally so hype. Yeah, you gotta think like it is with the nervous system too. Like you're relaxing physically and like you do
Yes.
release a lot. You release a lot of tension, a lot of soreness, anxiety, like anything physically in your body. So even one wrapped around like releasing old, habits, old beliefs, anything like
Releasing stuck emotions.
yeah, yeah, exactly. It's like so, they're both just so closely linked to your nervous system in different ways. So it's kind of like just jump starting everything. So I'm so happy that you're excited, and that would be fucking amazing.
Yeah, let's talk after this and we can scheme something really special.
Totally. I'm beyond down for
Then
that.
then anyone can listen to it when they're at a massage, right? Because like
Yes.
they can just be like, "Hey, sorry, I'm just putting on my meditation 60-minute."
yeah, I love that, especially Taylor when you like, because she's a Reiki master as well. So it's like when she integrates the Reiki into it too, like that's just gonna be a total like 180, you're up leveled in 60 minutes. Like this is magical. And then Taylor, like you can promote the Higher Self app, right? Because people are gonna be
Exactly.
like, oh my God, I want this for my everyday life. And then, oh my gosh, we're just changing the world over here, ladies.
I want this massage. Give it. I want it now.
She's
Girl,
amazing,
if
girlfriend.
you
Like,
ever visit, I got you. If you're ever
Wait.
in New Jersey,
I've never
yeah,
been to New Jersey though, ever.
that's okay. We're known as the armpit of America. So a lot of people, it's not really on their bucket list or top 10, but making a road trip and just happen to like drive through it and they're like, oh, Bruce Springsteen.
I'll add it on my list for this freaking massage. You will make New Jersey famous because of your famous massage. Everyone's like, I'm going to New Jersey for this famous massage.
That is right. And so it is, girl. And so it is. We are calling
especially
that
being
in.
by the beach. Like everybody wants to go to the beach. So you can market it as
Yeah.
massage and then go tan at the beach, you know? Like it'll be a vacay for everybody.
Nervous system regulation recalibration. Nervous system recalibration.
Oh my God. I'm gonna just change the name of the service to that.
Two.
With Marley and Taylor.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm so excited. I absolutely love that. Like, thank you a million times. Um, so yeah, I am curious to pick your brain about if you have a daily non-negotiable routine that you do every single day. I'm just dying to know if there's anything that you swear by. I know like it can be tweaked throughout, the years, but anything right now that you're doing, let's say like a morning routine wise?
Yes. I'm a morning routine hoe. I like preach the power of morning routines in everything that I do because I believe that your morning changes the way that you live your day, which is changes the way that you live your week, which makes up your month, which makes up your year. So doing something so small like a morning routine really can change your life. So over the years, it has looked complete like I add things in, I swap things out, but always, no matter what, I am doing a meditation or a recalibration. I'm in the Higher Self app every single morning. I need to meditate every single morning, or else I'm just not my best version. Taking time for myself every single morning is the best thing that I can do in the day. Just sets me up for the best energy for the day. That's number one. Number two is some sort of gratitude practice. So, the thing that I've been doing the longest is I will write 5 things that I'm currently grateful for that exist in my life right now, 5 things that I'm grateful for that don't yet exist, but holding gratitude for them because you're mostly grateful for something when you already have it. So, if you're grateful for something that you don't yet have, it manifests it into your life because your brain doesn't know the difference. And then I love doing 3 asks. So I literally think of the universe as my like Amazon, like putting in an order and you just have to ask. It's like going to a restaurant, like, hi, this is what I want. And I mean, that's for everyone, but we just don't ask. And it like always shocks me when I'm like, oh, I want this. And then boop, it just appears. I'm like, I just have to ask. Like, that's all I need to do. Like, that was so I love every day having an ask, like, okay, this is my intention for the day, or this is something I'm calling in today. And you will be surprised how well that works. Like just try every morning asking for something and then realizing like, oh my gosh, this came through. And if it didn't, it's just not the right timing, but it will when it's the perfect time to. Um, and then I'm lately and in the past like 30 days, so this is very new. I've been doing a morning Kundalini practice just on YouTube. I can send you the link if anyone wants to do it, but it's really cool. I love Kundalini. I always have my yeah, I love Kundalini. I have my best downloads like when I'm in Kundalini. So I have been doing that every morning, but that's like a new thing. And then I'm always moving my body every morning. That's again a non-negotiable.